Alrighty, what is going on, guys? Jond Games here, back with another Pixelmon and Johto preview video, and today I'm going to be showing off a little something that I was working on last night. This right here, this giant monstrosity of a randomizer. But mainly, I should probably explain what that is and like how it came to be first. So basically what this is a little thing that I like to call the mom mechanic. So in the actual game, if you're not familiar, in Gold and Silver, there was a option to have your mom randomly buy you items from time to time, and she would do it using your money. And some players opted in, some players opted out. I personally liked it. I didn't have a problem with it. But she pretty much actually did this, and she would buy a random item, and that's where all of these randomizers come in. So let me go ahead and knock out this torch, which is holding it up. And right here I have a clock that is completely separate from the every minute clock. And this basically is modded right now, so it's guaranteed that this will always fire regardless of what item this is. Normally there's going to be a 1 in 9 chance of you actually getting the mom state going, but whenever it does fire, it is going to send a pulse down into all of these randomizers, and it's just like a little tree branch down here. And pretty much what this does is it pretty much makes it so there is an equal chance for each one of these command blocks to be tripped. And if I go ahead and show you what the command is here, you can see that they are all basically just setting my score of mom to different numbers, and they have to be a person whose mom's state is number 1, or at least 1. So you really don't have this option if you choose to opt out. So if I go ahead and press this over here, note blocks, this is the one. So if I go ahead and toggle that off, you can see that now those messages should stop, and that's because it is trying to apply it to a person that is no longer online. It is trying to just give that score of mom anything to somebody with a mom state of 1, and if you opt to turn that off, your levels aren't going to be taken. In fact, let me go ahead and take off creative real quick. So I have a lot of levels just for the sole sake of experimenting, and if I go ahead and turn it back on, you can see that it will drain 5 levels every single time. And pretty much the way that this is useful is I'm going to include items that would be cheaper if you actually opted in to have your mom do this. Right now it is all set on all of these ores, and as you can see, they've pretty much all been random and there's no real rhyme or order to it. But yeah, the entire backbone of it is right around here, and it's just a bunch of test 4 commands that will lead into a bunch of chain commands. So the first one we have here is a command that will deduct the 5 levels, so your mom spending your money. And then over here, it will give you the item, whatever it may be. I will replace these with Pixelmon stuff so they won't just be ores. And then over here is one of the longer commands. It's a tell raw command that is essentially telling you, hey, sweetie, check your inventory. I bought you an item with your money. And yeah, and I can change that whenever I get the item stuff in, and whenever I get the item IDs that are customized with the mod, I will change these as well. And then over here is just a little second little raw tell command, just a little delay, so it's almost as if she is talking to you. And over here you have the reset for mom state to 0. And yeah, like I said, this is happening a lot faster than it should. This isn't how it's going to be in game. Otherwise, you're really not going to get any levels whatsoever. But the way that this is going to work in game, let me just go ahead and, heck, I can show you real quick. Let me toss out most of these stuff, and let me grab quartz, and I need a repeater. So pretty much what it's going to be like in game is it's going to be a completely random system, and there's going to be a lot of emeralds, like stacks upon stacks of emeralds, a lot of emeralds. So it's going to take a long time to even get to this randomizer, and whenever it does, it is going to have a 1 in 9 chance. In fact, I almost feel like that's a little too little of a chance, so let's go with 2 out of 9, but 2 out of 9 chances, which is pretty much the bed. And then from there it will extend, and it'll extend 2 instead of 1 strength, because it has a 2 and 9 chance of using a bed as opposed to like a block of quartz or an emerald or the torch. Pretty much, if you don't know how these randomizers work, that's how they do. You have an item that essentially can't really be stacked, and you put it in there, and whenever it goes into this hopper, it is going to be completely random what is dispensed out there. But if it is a bed, it is going to extend this 2 signal strengths as opposed to 1, which all of these others do. And then if it does output a signal strength of 1, nothing happens. If it outputs 2, it will launch into this entire thing where all of these have a 50-50 chance of either toggling a 1 or 2 state, or I guess in binary, 0 or 1 state. And then from there, it will, if it goes in this direction, it'll randomize between these two, and vice versa, all the way down to the 8. And yeah, that's pretty much how it works. It's just a bunch of randomizers, and it looks really cool. And yeah, I just wanted to show this off. The mom state recreated. Why am I getting a lot of lag all of a sudden? The mom thing recreated in Minecraft. I just thought it was pretty neat. Nothing really new in the new snapshots. Nothing really incredibly fancy. It's just a bunch of randomizers and test scores. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this little video, and I am very excited for the release of this map, which people have been asking what the date is going to be for it. I honestly have no idea. I couldn't even give you an estimate whenever this would come out. Just let me explain a little bit before I end off this video how much I do need to get done before I can actually release this map. So first, Pixelmon needs to come out. Pixelmon 3.0 is pretty much what I've been waiting on, although there are some regions and some places in here that aren't completed, so I guess I'm not entirely dependent on Pixelmon 3.0 coming out, but I do want that to come out as soon as possible and get this on the server, just for the sole fact of being able to A, import Kanto, which I'm planning on doing, and B, recreate basically every single trainer in the region. Both regions actually, now that I think about it. I have to do that, as well as I have to essentially merge together Kanto and Johto, which A is going to be kind of a structural nightmare, but also B is going to take a long time just getting it right. And also, I'm not sure if everything is going to transfer over fine, so I got to account for that. And then I have to go into Kanto, and I have to change everything to basically match up with this. And I have to essentially go in and make custom villagers for all of the places. So all of the Pokemon Marts are going to have their own little villagers that you can pretty much trade with. And yeah, there's just a lot to do, and I don't even know. It's just a lot of stuff that I have to do, and I have no idea when it's going to happen. I totally just realized I can go ahead and delete this thing right now, because this is actually the, I guess, alpha version of the mom thing, but this one was more like it in the game, where you would have to pick up an item right here at the Pokemon Mart, but instead, now I just switched it over to that, and I guess I can go ahead and take this out. I guess I don't really need this anymore. Awesome. I love getting rid of stuff that didn't really work. It's raining everything. Anyways, that's pretty much all I have to say for this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed. And yeah, I am really loving this, and it's still not even close to done, but it's shaping up to be really freaking awesome. I'm really happy with it so far, and we're not even close to the actual release.